Hello, welcome to PipeCast. On this episode of Burley Boy Summer, we're covering McBaren's HH Old Dark Fire. In this example, I'm actually smoking Old Dark Fire Ready Rub from December of 2020. So um, let's hope they didn't change it. Let's look at that blend.
All right, here we have McBaren's HH Old Dark Fired. This is the Ready Rub version. Normally it would be in a flake. What it is comprised of is Burley, Dark Fire Kentucky, and then Virginia's. And so here we have bright and red. Not really sure, doesn't really say which one is used, but we do know that they are flue cured Virginias. So, um, but and it's a hot pressed tobacco. So I mean, it is very dark. Um, I mean, darker than all the components that I have. So, um, I mean, even this Dark Fire Kentucky here. I mean, that's like Latakia dark. So, Cavendish dark. Like it's a very dark blend here. So I think the hot pressing, the flute cured Virginias, all that comes together to have a really darker colored blend here. So it's really hard to pick out anything really. I mean, there's some bright spots, but that could be anything from the Burley to the Virginias. So um, yeah, let's just get over there and see how it smokes.
All right, so that was Old Dark Fire. It's Kentucky, Burley, and Virginia. It's actually one of two of McBaren's HH more Kentucky forward blends. Um, so we'll be doing Bold Kentucky next. The next video will be Bold Kentucky. Um, I've had this one a little bit. I won't say this is a first impression for this one. It will be for Bold Kentucky, but right off the bat for me, um, coming off the heels of smoking Dark Strong Flake, the old version, and Peterson Irish Flake, the old version, this is a lot more. This is a lot lighter. It's not. It's nowhere near as powerful as those two. Because I think you could smoke this all day. I mean, well, you couldn't smoke it all day, I don't think, but um, you're going to get a little bit further, I think, with this than you would with Dark Strong or Peterson Irish Flake. Um, I'll have to, I guess we'll kind of have to call this like a part one and a part two, kind of like the tale of the Dark Fired HH brothers. So
Hmm.
I'll probably have a bigger conclusion to both of them when we get to the end of Bold Kentucky, when we get to the end of that episode. So kind of think of these videos as a part one and a part two. But so far, the smokes that I've had with Old Dark Fired and right now with it, I got it lit right here. Um, I think it's fine. I think you get a lot of um the like you get a lot of that quintessential Kentucky fire kind of thing going on. Um, Very earthy, very smoky. Um, but I just think, which just pains me because I'm a big proponent of HH. I love the HH line, because I think Latakia is a HH Latakia flake is more than a standard. It is a rotational English for me. Um, uh, HH Pure Virginia is almost a rotational Virginia. Um, uh, and so it's just and HH Syria was such a great blend that time we had it. Um, I don't know if I would go to this. Like I said before, I think I'd love to be able to just tell a new pipe smoker, look, just go to the HH line, smoke everything in the HH line, and that'll kind of give you an idea on where you need to go from there. But I don't think Old Dark Fired is that though. I think I really think maybe Bold Kentucky can be that. Um, I want to say Irish Flake is where you'd want to go for a beginner, but again, you've got to be very very cautious with it because it's kind of like it's kind of like hunch punch. It kind of deceives you. You drink one drink and you're like, you don't taste any alcohol, and then you're 5 in and you're kissing the pavement. So it's like you got to be careful with it. Um, so, but I mean, I still think it's a quality blend. It's just it's lacking the magic that HH Latakia Flake has, and HH Pure Virginia had, and HH Syria had. It's just it's not. I mean, it's definitely better than Acadian. Acadian was garbage, and I'm glad they got rid of it. But and there's a few others that we still have to try. We got a 10 of HH Rustica. We were able to procure that, and then I got some. I think it's called HH Balkan Blend. I think is what it's called. So there's a couple HHs that we still need to try, but
Actually, do an episode on H8 Syrian.
do you still have some?
Yeah, I don't smoke it very often.
Because we did an audio. If you go back into the annals of time, um, we did an episode where we smoked it, one of the audio only ones. So yeah, we probably need to just do a video version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, I think we will kind of wrap up the HH lineup. Kinda,
That's a big series closure too.
yeah. 'Cause I mean, like I said, I've talked a big game about it for a while now, and that's mainly really only the two. Again, Latakia Flake and I forgot about Burley Flake, HH Burley Flake. See, it's a quality Burley, So, um, so yeah, I mean, I can't believe I forgot about HH Burley, but yeah, I just don't think I think Old Dark kind of just I don't know, and I'll get into it with Bold Kentucky. I'll give it over to you. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think let's talk about the tobacco, and then that might flow into the line. But so Old Dark Fired is one of the more natural fired blends that I've had in a long time. Naturally sweet. I think that steaming process brings forward that sweetness, But I also think that the steaming process somehow has negated or neutralized a lot of the nicotine within Old Dark Fired. This seems like someone took a year, smoked the original Heinrich's Dark Strong, and then questioned whether or not they needed the star anise or the licorice flavor at such a high volume, which I like. I think that stuff really goes along with Dark Fired Kentucky. You can see it in Dark Strong, Heinrich's original blend, and you can see it in I don't know if they've changed it, but the Orlick had a Dark Fired Kentucky blend. Both have a licorice topping on it. I think it pairs really well, but the Orlick blend, super strong. I think the Virginias in it are not easily maintained, so I think that there's something in that tobacco that really gives you quite a nasty case of tongue burn, at least for me. So I think through pulling back on some of the flavoring, you've actually created a mild to medium smoke in a good, flavorful way. You still have the smoky earthiness and the natural sweetness of everything coming through. There's probably a light sugar topping, but nothing that stands out as far as like licorice or anything like that. It has like a natural tobacco like sweetness to it, and and it doesn't cause a lot of tongue burn or tongue bite. So to me, it's I would probably say that it is an all day smoke, but it's another one of those we're in a seasonal situation. See, I think what I like about Dark Fire Kentucky, in a sense, it has a way of it's perfectly timed now because it's burly, but I also have this like kind of burly, but as things are starting to cool off, and we just hit a break in the weather here. It's like the weather's dropped 20 degrees, so there's this weird kind of like pre-fall, post-summer feeling going on. So smoking these are really nice. But I think that I would probably lend Old Darkfire to being a cooler month smoker as opposed to a warmer month smoker. And so I think that gives it kind of a sort of a mid-seasonal kind of thing going, or in between season thing. But still mild. It's still great. It's still a good way to usher in cooler months, I think. Would I pick this over Dark Strong? Not the original. I haven't had the new one, but I think that it's as far as I can tell, Heinrich's Dark Strong is a better crafted tobacco. But now this is getting into the line. But McBaren's has proved that with the HH line of tobaccos that they are masters of quality. They're masters of quality control. And just there's a certain amount of assurance when you get that HH10. You're going to have uniform tobacco, uniform flavor, a uniformity that is probably done by someone who's been blending for a long time, that perfected the recipe, checked it what feels like over years, and then sent it out to market. It is as mechanically sound. The line of tobaccos, minus maybe Acadian, are the most mechanically sound blends there are. That doesn't mean that, like, say, HH Latakia Flake can top, say, something more like Meridian, something a little bit more specific.
Yeah.
No, because that's subjective. As far as being mechanically sound, the HH line is like, you're going to like every single one of them, most likely. If you like that type of blend, you're going to like it. Does it mean it's going to be rotational or your favorite? Maybe. But like ultimately, it's so mechanically sound, you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's sort of my conclusion for these types of tobaccos. They're just this particular line. And like you said, it's going to be interesting to kind of go into like the sister blend or the cousin blend next. But Old Darkfire is very good, very consistent, naturally sweet, an enjoyable smoke, probably an all-day smoke for the cooler months, but not the cold months. I'm still very much a Latakia proponent or a Balkan proponent in the winter months, but this is a great companion to, say, a vapor blend. I like vapors in the fall. I'd probably like Old Darkfire in the fall. And then, that's just kind of like a seasonal kind of analysis. But yeah, man, like great blend, can't go wrong. Smoking in a big pipe, smoking in a little pipe. It's a good puffer. It's just good. So
Yeah, I mean, I think the HH line again. It's weird because I think I've only had one blend that is a McBaren blend that's not HH, and it was the Latakia rolls, those coins that they did. I don't think I've had any of their, like, what was it, 7 sales or any of that stuff, or like their, was it for vanilla cream or vanilla roll or whatever they are, any of their aromatic stuff. I've only really had the HH line, and like I said, I'm a huge supporter of it. Like, there was a part of me when I was getting into, because me, there's a level to me that's a little bit aesthetics. It's not so much aesthetics, but it's the idea of consistency throughout aesthetics. And it was kind of like, man, I may just want to make all the HH blends my rotationals. Just
well,
only get those.
I was thinking about that with you, and nothing bad. It's just like, I think there's a universality to what you're saying in that, like, if the tobacco is presented well, then it's probably going to taste all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, if you've taken so much care in presentation, then why would you not take care in the whole point of getting it, which is to smoke it?
Yeah. I mean, look, like I know this is the old Dark Fired episode, but like look at this, like it's like there's just I don't know, like it like it's that's incredible. That's just quality. Like it's I don't know. There's just time and effort went into this, and then you look at a Cornell and Deal French dip can. 'Cause I'm pretty sure those cans that Cornell and Deal and um, GLPs that they come in, they're the same cans that like Frito-Lay French dip comes in. Like I'm pretty sure they're the same thing. But like,
Right.
and then you get this nice, presentation. It's just, I don't know. I mean, there's just something
Real,
about that.
bro. Like, I never thought of that, but that's exactly what those are.
It's the same thing. It's just, I don't know. Like at least Seattle Pipe Club, their tins, there's something unique. They're big and they're kind of. I mean, I kind of don't like them because they are so big. But see, I mean, I think the Pinnacle. Side note: the Pinnacle 10. This may ruffle feathers. Is the McBaren Flake tins,
Mhm.
and then Galwith, any of the Galwith blends. That's
Well,
all tobacco.
it's just, yeah, I mean, what we're talking about is that, like, I've been making a lot of comparisons here lately, but it's a difference between an Aston Martin and a Corvette.
Yeah.
One's just sleeker, and it's,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just the European tinning process is just a little bit more presentable.
Yeah. 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 I
It's
mean,
nothing, I mean, but like it's personal preference. I mean, some people just hey man, I'm just hauling out,
yeah.
I would
Well,
still
see,
put Seattle Pipe Club in them. They're sort of like a lifted truck, you know what I mean? Every time I see that tin, I'm like, God Almighty, I'm gonna have to bring out a dead gum zipper
yeah.
lock bag or Ziploc bag, and I can't take a dead gum tin of that with me because it's like I gotta.
See, see that, and so I'm thinking too, like, cause I'm kind of like caught in the middle. It's like I want it either like this, or I want it in a Sir Walter Raleigh pouch. Like I want it either way. But I don't like that middle ground. Like to me, Cornell and Deal should look like Rattrays, like
Mhm.
their 10, like that. If you're gonna go that kind of route, you need to go that way, because there's something cool about them as well. But then you got Peter Heinrich, which is like a paint can, and it's
Well,
like,
that's the funny part is like, because I was wondering if you were going to let me go, because my favorite is the paint can.
but I think there's a use for the paint can, like even though it's a little bit big, a little bit more bulky, it's got a utilitarian feel to it, and it keeps it fresh longer, or you would
All
think.
my old, all my old tins that are paint cans
Yeah.
now hold nails and bolts and crap in it. You
Oh,
actually made a
really?
joke about it. Yeah, because I'm like, I keep all my old spare stuff. Last time I said this, you're like, this guy's a loser.
It's like old coffee canisters for old man, but you use tobacco Peter
Yeah.
Heinrichs.
Well, it kind of makes me laugh because I like the other day I was in my shop and I'd forgot I'd taken out Dark Strong, and
Yeah,
which is just a can of nails, and I laid it on my counter to do it. And like I walked out there, I was like, "Oh my god!" And I like zipped over there to it, and then I forgot it was my nails. And then I was like, "Oh man, I got like sewing supply cookie, buffooned. Like how old ladies put all their
yeah,
sewing supplies in those cookie tins." I
yeah.
was like, "Son of a gun, I cookie tin myself."
Cookie tin was, because doesn't Reiner Gold, do they come in a paint can too?
Paint tin too, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Heinrich, I mean, who's the blending house behind Heinrich and Reiner Gold, or Reiner?
Uh, I think Reiner Gold is the same people behind Orlik, so I think it's so whoever that is. I think that's a Danish company,
Okay.
and then the people behind Heinrich is either Cole House and Cop or Dan Tobacco. I don't know which one.
And and I will say, the traditional round gold tins from STG, I mean they're kind of like your standard, I guess, but it's just like I think we've talked about this before. There's nothing more defeating than getting a round tin and opening it up and then having a square foil and flakes. Like it's
And I
just
think
like
cost saving metric, but it sucks that they're doing it. But I get it.
yeah, it's just man, these square tins, man. I don't know, man. They get me going, man. This is just perfection.
That's perfectly fitted for your pocket. So,
But yeah. So that's Old Dark.
Sorry, now you got me all. I gotta buy some Reiner Gold.
You got y'all misty eyed for Reiner.
You know, it's like one of the first blends I ever really fell in love with.
Yeah, it's a vapor, right?
It is.
It may have been one of the first vapors I had because I'm sure you had it. You gave it to me. I can't remember if I had it or
I'd be
it was one of.
surprised if it was your first because I don't think I haven't smoked Reiner Gold in so long.
I know you had a tin of it when I first got into it.
Okay.
You did have a tin, but I did. Part of me wants to say Elizabethan, but I don't think it was because I think around the time I got into it, Elizabethan, like Peterson, they were going away, and we couldn't find them for the longest time. So I don't know what my first vapor was, to be honest with you. Oh, I bet it was a Cornell and Deal, like Red
Yeah.
Carpet or Opening Night, one of those two.
Reiner always makes me want to read like literature from like Edwardian or Victorian era.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I'm always like, wonder what Charles Dickens is up to. I'm like, oh crap, I'm smoking Reiner. I'm like,
it's funny how blends will do that to you, you know.
mm.
But but yeah, so that's the first of the McBaren HH Kentucky blends. Stick around next week. We will be covering Bold Kentucky, and I think we will be able to give a more fuller kind of idea. I think
Mm.
you really gave a good idea. You gave a good opinion on how you feel about it, but mine's I'm still kind of I'm holding out. I mean, I still think it's a good blend. I still think I would recommend somebody trying Old Dark Fire, but as far as the go-to Kentucky of McBaren, I'm gonna hold that out till next week.
Well, I think that what we're going to find out next week is that HH Bold is a blend,
Yeah.
and so stay tuned for that comment next time,
Okay.
and we'll discuss it further. The difference between a blend and I'll have another term for it when I come back, but I'll qualify it on the next episode. So y'all stay tuned for that.
All right. All right. We'll see y'all next time.